Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah. I want to kick off tonight's episode with a huge congratulations to the winner of the 2019 Step Up Professional Developer Award. It's now in its third year. It's an award that I have run for a couple of years now because I really want to give back to the community of Gippsland in which I live and to help people step up in their careers with the development of some soft skills and some support and coaching. So this year I had 27 nominees, and I've got to tell you, it was really a high caliber of applicants this year. I am very glad that I enlist a panel to help me make the decision because I was really at my wit's end trying to pick a winner because the caliber of nominees was so high. However, we did get one, and that was Churchill man David Wakefield, who is a teacher out at TAFE Gippsland. And if you haven't already read the story I posted this morning about David and what he's done to inspire his students, it's pretty impressive stuff. And he's looking to step up not only in his personal and professional life, but he wants to learn some skills to help take back to inspire his kids in the classroom, the students in his classroom there on campus at Morwell. Dave, so determined to inspire his students that he walked 60 kilometres in one day just to show them how much hard work he was prepared to do, because he's incorporated movement into the classes, which I think is such an amazing idea. You know, Dave said to me, an hour and a half in the classroom is a really long time for some of these students. So he gets them out and walking around Kernot Lake there in Morwell for half of their class each day. And he pushes them pretty hard, he said. They do about 3Ks every day in class, which is really great, not only for their physical health and movement, but as lots of us know, exercise, being outside in nature is amazing for our mental health as well. Now, to show the students that he's prepared to do the hard yards as well, 3Ks isn't much for David, but 60 sure was. And he had blistered feet that he taught in for a good couple of weeks. He had to wear slippers to work. So read that story if you haven't already. Righto, today I have had an incredible day. I ran a workshop today for a group of about 30 women from environmental agencies right across Gippsland who are part of a women's leadership program, or that was the program that ran it, and these women were nominated or put forward by their organisations. They came along, and the workshop that we did today was the very first workshop that I started out with, Remove the Roadblocks, and it is still one of my favourites. It has a very special place for me, and I love delivering that session today. We talk about how to remove roadblocks in our life, how to identify roadblocks, what those limiting beliefs are that are holding us back, our self-doubt, how to overcome failure and push past some of those feelings of inadequacy and imposter syndrome. And then we get into looking at values and what success actually means to us. It's a question a lot of us don't reflect on. But we did that today, and then looked at how to set a goal around making that a reality, or part of that a reality, one of those dreams, and then putting a plan in place to achieve it. Now, I love when I do that exercise, and I know there's someone who did my Remove the Roadblocks workshop last year who set as her goal in that workshop a family travel, big family road trip around Australia. And she's actually on that trip right now, some 12 months later, which is really cool. And she said to me she's on the trip now with her family because of the goal and the plan she put in place in that workshop. But I wanted to share with you tonight something that came out of the workshop today, and then I'll get into tonight's question. While some people set some really big goals, and we're getting right into, some of those big overwhelming tasks that we've put off because we think we don't know where to start. And I taught people a process to break that down into small goals and then baby step plans to just get you started, because a lot of the time it's the baby steps that create momentum, and that's how big significant change or achievement happens. It's not by going, oh my gosh, I'm going to go out tomorrow and exercise for 5 hours, or I'm going to go and write 8 hours for tomorrow because I wanted to write a book. It's tiny little baby steps. You know, it might be I'm going to write for 15 minutes tomorrow, or I'm going to do 20 push-ups in my lounge room at home. Whatever it is, it's starting with a baby step and just starting, taking action. And the interesting thing today was I had a wonderful woman come up and speak to me, and she was feeling a bit overwhelmed, and she said, I've got a lot going on at the moment in my life and I don't have a big goal. I can barely hold it together. So this big goal talk, I'm finding it really difficult and overwhelming. And it was such a really important point, because sometimes hanging on is what we need to do. It's where we're at in our life. There's something big going on and we do have to hang on. But this woman said to me, I can't come up with any goal. All I want is to be able to get up each day and remember that there's good in the world as I'm trying to get through my day and hold it together. And I stopped her there and I said, hang on, that's an amazing dream. That, you know, that it might not sound like some big, I'm going to write a book or I'm going to do this or that, but being able to remind yourself each day that there is beauty and goodness in the world is huge. We can totally set a goal around that. And when we looked at, well, how can you remind yourself of that in the depths of really some really big challenges and sometimes despair? And we went, okay, the best way to do this, the simplest way, the shortest way when everything's so overwhelming is with gratitude. And whether it's in a journal or just something you practice, it can be your goal is to say something you're grateful for, or 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And your plan might be to then have a journal. And we spoke about how, you know, you can have all these good intentions about writing what you're grateful for. And it doesn't just have to be saying, I am grateful for. There's some great questions you can ask, like, what went well for me today? What am I looking forward to tomorrow? Who am I grateful for? That, you know, there's some mixing up that you can do here. And she said, oh, the problem is, you know, even with a journal, it might sit on my bedside table and I don't do much with it. And so we said, well, what's something you do every day? And this person said, the thing I do every day is brush my teeth. And so we went, okay, well, if we brush our teeth every day, let's put the gratitude journal with that and make it, whether it's morning or night, we brush our teeth twice a day. So there's 2 opportunities to do it and you only have to do it once a day. That could be the thing. That could be the plan that helps achieve the goal, which is to practice gratitude every day. The dream is to be able to wake up every day and remind myself that there's good in the world. The goal is to practice gratitude daily. And the plan is to get that journal, put it beside the toothbrush and write at least 1 thing a day. Can you see how it sounds simple, but that can have a huge impact on your resilience and your ability to cope through some really challenging times. So please, when we talk about goal setting or achieving your dreams, don't get overwhelmed and think, I don't have anything because I'm dealing with so much at the moment. These baby steps are incredibly, incredibly powerful. Hello to Amy, Jungle Jim, Tracy, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for a brilliant day. Amy, I did have a ball today. Question that came through during the week to answer tonight. It's a good one. It's really one for the women out there in particular. This question came through. It was about, how do you politely point out to someone in a workplace environment that you really don't like them calling you hun, love, girly, all of those, you know, those patronizing nicknames and names that she knows this person is coming from a good place. They're not meaning to offend her. They're not meaning to patronize her at all. They're coming from a good place, but she said, it makes me feel as if I'm a little girl. Here I am trying to make my way in a workplace, and, you know, this person's referring to me, love, sweetie, hun, you know, just these words that really are not appropriate. But she's conscious about the fact that it's not this person's intention to offend. So how does she go about having this conversation? Here's what I would recommend. If you've got a pretty good relationship with this person, which it sounds like you really do, because you're really concerned about how do I do this in a way that doesn't cause a big issue, here's what I'd advise. I'd have a chat with them, or try to catch them somewhere where you say, hey, can I just grab you for a couple of minutes for a quick chat? Okay, so you make it pretty informal. Can I just grab you for a quick chat? But then do take them somewhere private, you know, take them into a quick meeting room or somewhere where it is in private. And then, as you've heard me talk about a lot of times, my recommendation is to inoculate first. And you're not going to get all serious and say, look, this is going to be a very difficult conversation. Nothing like that. You're still trying to keep that real connection there. So you might say, you know, hey, can I just talk to you for a quick sec? You might then start off, though, by saying to them, now, look, I wanted to have a quick chat, and it's really uncomfortable for me to do this because I know that your intention is not to offend me or make me feel uncomfortable, because we've got a great relationship. But I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about the words that you use when you're speaking to me, because you really rarely use my name, and and I know that, you know, they're intended as terms of endearment. However, in the workplace, I'd really appreciate it if you used my name, because I'm trying, you know, I really want to be seen in a professional capacity, and that would really help. Would you be, you know, could you please do that? It's not would it be okay, because this isn't a request, it's could you please do that? You need to make sure you ask for what you want and need in conversations. So it's not being timid at all, but it's also not going in real hard ass and saying, don't you talk to me like that again. You could do that if you didn't have a great relationship, but again, you're focused on the outcome here. What's the outcome you want? You want this person to stop calling you with those nicknames, and you want them to treat you you want them to use your name, but you want to preserve the relationship. So, hey, can we just have a quick chat? You know, I know it's not your intention, but when you use those names like sweetie or dear or hun when you're talking to me, it actually does feel a bit patronizing, and I really don't like it. I'd love it if you could use my name, because I'm really working hard to make my way in this workplace. Is that, you know, it'd be great if you could do that. You will usually find that the other person will respond if you do it in this way with warmth, acknowledging that the relationship is really important. Usually the other person will say something like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, I wasn't meaning to offend you. It's because we get along so well that I was you. And they'll have a big explanation, which is fine. Okay. However, as I've said so many times, you're staying hard on the issue, soft on the person. So you're not saying, oh, no, that's all right, and backing down from your point. You might even reiterate that bit of empathy with them. Yeah, look, I know it's not your intention at all. However, in the workplace, please use my name. Because what happens in a lot of these situations is sometimes, and very funny, Jungle Jim, sometimes in a workplace, we do have a relationship with someone where this might have been okay, but here's the thing, and I think it's something that a lot of guys don't understand. When one person does it, other people see it and think that's okay too. And of course, it's not the worst thing someone can call you. However, do guys do it to guys? No, they don't. Sure, you'll use a nickname, but it's not, oh, boy, you know, and these terms of endearment. And for a lot of women, when you're trying to be taken seriously, particularly those women who work in male-dominated workplaces, this can be a way of pushing you down a bit. It can feel that way, even if it's not your intention, and make you feel less than, especially if you're sitting next to male colleagues who are being called by their name and it's all very serious, and then it's, oh, hun, can you get us a coffee? And guess what? That crap still happens. So the best thing to do is use people's names. It's professional, it's polite, and it's the way to go. So that is my advice to you tonight, folks. Have a great week. Stay warm. I'm off to do some coaching and facilitating tomorrow. It's been a big week, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Who am I kidding? For those of you who are early birds, I will be on radio at 6:20 in the morning on Gippsland FM, talking about, again, those baby steps and how they can build momentum. Remember, if there is something you want to do, you can start today. You don't have to wait till Monday. Cheers, folks. Have a great evening.